Hey guys, how you doing? How's it going? We're gonna be covering some different subjects today. Um, First off, I've been recently made aware, and I know I'm late to the party, about Bungo Taiga. For those who don't know who Bungo Taiga is, they are a VTuber and streamer, and there's a lot going on with them. On a collaboration with Moist Critical, Nux Taku called them a pedophile and a groomer, even though he admitted himself he didn't have the full story. And don't get me wrong, I used to be a Nux Taku fan, but this and the recent exposure with him being shown to want to collaborate with Shadman of all people has really, really put a bad light on Nux. And I was up at like 3 a.m. this morning. I couldn't sleep because of acid reflux and whatnot. And the video just came across my feed, and I don't remember everything that was said, um, or much at all, really, because I was so tired. But let me go to my history if I can find it, because there's a specific video. And I want to go over it because it goes over everything, and Taiga explains themselves and calls out Nux for lying, you know? So, one second, I gotta unmute. There we go. And we're gonna start hearing. Hold on. Hold on. My Chrome is being weird.
Compared to the people who did it to me
There we
because
go.
you and your friends wanted to play broken telephone with my life. And Nux didn't reply. And that was in December 16th. He didn't reply. He didn't say he was making a video. He didn't give me any updates towards that. And now he has the fucking balls to mention me, to fucking name drop me in this podcast and act like he did the right thing. I hate that this is like what I have to talk about every fucking day. I hate that I have to wake up and deal with more bullshit because people will never take accountability because they're just terrible. Nux.
From the way this sounds, it sounds like this has been a daily problem. So, I really want to hear what Taiga has to say.
Funny thing, he's been hiding on his Kick account. He's been on vacation. At least I thought. He's been on vacation. I've been waiting for him to make a statement about any of this, right? A public statement that people will actually see, you know, on his YouTube channel, on his Twitter account, some public statement, you know, that people are actually going to see and be able to interact with. And he hasn't done it.
Well, that's a red flag right there. And, like, Kick is not a large platform. Not many people use Kick to stream or view streams. I have a Kick that I have never used. Because I don't even have a large platform here. But I really do want to understand, like, if you're supposed to be this YouTuber that calls out bullshit, why are you hiding from this situation?
I thought he was still on vacation. Turns out he's just been streaming every week, every day, for like the past week to his Kick account. And last night he did a stream where he finally, I say finally, addresses my situation. And address is a strong word, because it was more like a lot of deflecting and not taking accountability. And we're just going to go over it. And I'm going to correct every single little bit of misinformation that he seems to think.
Your voice is shaking, so I can see you're very emotional about this.
His followers are too stupid to, parse, to figure out. It's just blatant lies. It's just blatant lies that if you knew the situation, you'd know he's lying. And I know the situation. So I'm going to stop and point out every single time he lies because he can't stop lying. I don't know why he can't stop lying. I don't know why, if he genuinely feels bad about the situation, he can't stop lying about it. But he can't.
Yeah, no, if you actually felt bad about the situation, you would do what you could to fix it. So, this is pretty fucked up, honestly.
Can't. He can't stop fucking lying. And it's driving me fucking crazy. I just kind of need this video because I see people keep on defending him and giving him the benefit of the doubt. And I keep wanting to give it to him too, but he keeps fucking lying, about shit he did, right? Not even about shit that he wouldn't know about, not about shit oh, maybe he didn't look into the situation. You know what I mean? Maybe he just didn't look into the situation. He's lying about things that he himself did and is just acting like they never happened. And it's driving me crazy. But what bothers me more about all of this is everybody's just utter inability to want to talk about it. I'm not perfect,
No, if I had known about the situation sooner, I definitely would have talked about it. Hell, if, you weren't on hiatus, Taiga, I would want to interview you, honestly, and, hear it in person from you because, it would get your story out there more. But I also understand your need for privacy.
I'm not the perfect victim in this situation. And I get that, maybe, people just don't want to put their neck on the line for me. But I don't know how people can look at what Nux is doing and...
I don't do this as my full-time job. I will put my neck out on the line for people that deserve it, And that's why I'm covering this, because I have a feeling that, this is something serious and you need support.
Just give this the pass. But yeah, Nux says a lot of shit that makes it absolutely clear that he never looked into the situation, not even a little bit.
I'll tell you what's been going on. Basically, there's this VTuber, Bungo Taiga, that got banned on YouTube. But for some reason, this became a whole thing and reason why people are trying to blame me for it.
No, no one's trying to blame you for the ban, Nux. If you actually looked at the situation, you'd see what they're kind of blaming you for. And it's kind of just years of not taking accountability for your...
So, from the look of it, Nux is already acting like all of it was his fault, and from the way Taiga's talking, it's only a partial issue. There's more to it than just Nux, but at this point, this is also, you are contributing to a lot of the negativity.
Actions, including what you did to me. You aren't solely responsible for my ban on YouTube.
Apparently Bungo Taiga on his streams for the last year has been saying that I never apologized for wronging him, and...
You guys have watched my past streams, right? So that's lie number one.
I don't know, this guy Bungo Taiga, and I apologized to him privately that...
Let me be clear. Let me check exactly what he said. So, yeah, he said, hey, man, I saw some clips of your stream floating around. You asked me to reach out, so here I am. To be frank, I saw a lot of leaked DMs and stuff months ago about you, so I'm hesitant to give you the benefit of the doubt. But that said, I don't want to spread misinformation about you either, despite my disclaimers. I apologize if that's what I ended up doing.
This already seems kind of half-assed. I don't want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Why? Did you not dig into the research yourself? I thought we were all about innocent until proven guilty on this platform as professionals.
I apologize If that's what I ended up doing. And then I said, you know, you saw some leaked DMs of me grooming someone? Because, like, where's that? And then blah, blah, blah. I say a bunch of shit. And then he's like, this guy sounds like bad news. And I'm sorry you and others had to deal with him. The guy he's saying sounds like bad news is literally my stalker who he said I groomed. Who he said...
What the fuck? If somebody is stalking you, how the fuck do you groom them? I would think that would be the other way around because they're putting in excessive effort to harass you.
I groomed. The stalker who he said I groomed. I never said he didn't apologize. I explicitly gave the method to which he did apologize, which was a private apology in DMs. The problem with that, Nux, okay? The problem with that is that you slandered me to over 200, well, I think the video has over 350,000 views now. 350,000 people plus Moist Critical, right? So that's line number one. Obviously, I never said you didn't apologize. I don't know, like, where are you getting this from? Every single video, I literally outline the method on which you apologized and how it was lackluster for the damage you've caused me.
Yeah, no, it does seem very half-assed. And it almost seems like, sorry you feel that way. You know? That's kind of ass, Nux. You of all VTubers should know better, especially with what you normally cover.
So it started off, well, it didn't start off this way, but this was a tweet made yesterday by Bungo Taiga. Banger tweet. He deleted the tweet, but someone sent me a screenshot of it. As you know, I'm not on Twitter anymore. So,
No,
so
nobody knows that, Nux,
like...
because you tweeted on the 26th that you would be covering everything after you got back from vacation. So nobody knows that you're not on Twitter anymore because you were active as of the 26th of August, not even like 2 weeks ago. And also, I apologize for deleting tweets. I thought that the method for when we regret doing something was kind of just deleting it and then acting like it never happened.
I mean, that's what a lot of YouTubers do. You can't really be in the wrong for that because, you know, smaller platforms, smaller content creators look up to the bigger content creators, and if that's what they're doing, they're going to follow it. Because the larger content creators are kind of our role models in a way.
So, like, the same way you did with the video slandering me, I thought it would be okay if I just tweeted about you and then deleted it after I regretted it. My bad.
Oh shit, I probably shouldn't be talking about it now then. Damn,
It says the guy's streaming on Kick, by the way. I just want to make it clear, this stream happened on Kick to, like, maybe 300 people. Like, literally half of his max audience. Like, I just want to make that absolutely clear. He finally addresses it fucking almost 2 years later, and it's... Or is it 3? I don't know. When did the video come out? I don't fucking know, man. He finally addresses it on fucking Kick to half of his... Like, not...
Kick it... Like, if Kick is your smallest platform, don't be doing this shit on your smallest platform. Do it on your largest so that everybody can see what is actually going on. And on top of that, like, if this is years in the making, that says a lot about you, Nux. It really does. And the thing is, I used to be a fan of yours. So, you're kind of spitting in the face of people who thought you were a good person.
I would say half. That's, like, being way too generous. Nobody saw this shit, bro. You had, like, maybe 16 people, like, actively chatting. Nobody saw this.
I thought you cared about the truth, bro. Right. I thought you cared about, stood up for small creators. I do. Especially when the small creators don't have sussy interactions in regards to minors.
So he's doubling down here, right? He's insinuating that, you know, he would have stood up for me, but because of my interactions in the past, he can't stand up for me, which will directly contradict what he says later.
Yeah, what the fuck, Nux? What the fuck? From the look of it, you're not even, like, taking accountability. You're just apologizing to the small amount of masses who actually have brought it up. Like, you're doing it to save your own ass, it sounds like.
Just doesn't really make sense.
In a nutshell, I fucked up. 2 years ago, I made a video with Moist Critical where I said that I don't know the full story, but apparently he's a pedophile.
And there it is. He fucked up. Your excuse about not why you won't cover me is immediately invalidated because you just said you fucked up.
Why are you backtracking, Nux?
You got it wrong.
2 years ago, I made a video with Moist Critical where I said that I don't know the full story, but apparently he's a pedophile, and he came back proving that he wasn't a pedophile, and I apologized for it multiple times since then, but...
You also called him a groomer. Where's the apology for that?
I think we'll say that's like lie number 2 or 3. When he says he apologized multiple times, it's not true. He apologized to me like once in DMs. Maybe like, I guess if you count like saying sorry multiple times in the DMs, maybe he apologized multiple times. I feel like that's one instance of apologies, you know what I mean? Like you can't just count every time you say sorry in a DM as an apology, right? It's not multiple apologies. Multiple apologies usually require apologizing like in multiple places in front of multiple audiences, at least in my book. Like I can send you sorry 50 times, but that doesn't mean anything. Line number 2, not only did he call me a pedophile in that video, he called me a groomer, and I don't know why he leaves this out.
Taiga is an indie streamer who, I don't know the whole story.
I don't know the whole story. Like, why would he say that, dude? Why would he do that? Optimism seeping in? Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
But Taiga was outed to be a pedophile.
Incorrect.
Which is
shit, Jesus.
A little awkward. I don't know the whole story, so alleged, but...
Oh,
Alleged.
wow.
Oh, he throws that in there. Oh.
And you say this in a collaboration with a massive YouTuber. A massive YouTuber. And alleged doesn't change the fact that now that is a thought in Charlie's head. Like, now that is a thought that Charlie's going to have towards this person.
Thanks, Nux. I appreciate that. Okay, well, you're allegedly a good person. I don't like...
It's a lot worse. Apparently this... I don't know all the details, so this will put a big asterisk on it, but I think this was someone that was, like, kind of groomed-ish.
Oh, the donator was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why are you lying? So, like, I'm counting that as, like, lie number 3 or 4. I don't know how many lies we're on. I'm counting that as another lie because he didn't just call me a pedophile, which was, like, you know, factually wrong at the time anyway. He also called me a groomer and then said I groomed one of my audience members into donating thousands of dollars to me. A lie of omission is still a lie, 100%. He is down.
Yeah, a lie of omission is still a lie. Like, you said that with your whole chest.
Playing what he actually did. I don't know why he's lying. Like, I don't know if he genuinely feels bad or maybe he just forgot what he said. But he's lying, right? Like, he's actually lying. He is undermining, he is downplaying the severity to which he slandered me. And I'm counting that as a lie. You can take one lie off the lie counter if you disagree. It's semantics at that point. It's still a fucking issue.
I definitely did fuck up there, and I apologized for it multiple times.
Yeah, but not in multiple instances, right? Like,
You can't jump to conclusions like that. Now you're starting to sound like Mama Max, where, like, he alleged that he alluded to these people being pedophiles because they wouldn't support his cause. Like, it's a similar accusation.
Like, again, saying sorry 50 times in DMs doesn't undo slandering me to over 350,000 people plus Moist Critical. Because when you see someone like Moist Critical, Charlie, in the fucking video, you look at that and you think, oh shit, you've got this guy, you've got the biggest fucking YouTuber on the goddamn platform on the stream. That adds weight to what you're saying.
Okay, so this was the first tweet that I saw. This was made in May 2021.
Wow, that's
about
incredible.
Bungo Taiga abusing his mods and being toxic and commissioning fetish, shota, hentai, shit, whatever. I don't know all the...
Like, you put fetish shota hentai shit in your fucking thumbnails, dude.
That is a good point. That is a very good point. Especially when he was collabing with people in V Shoujo and also like Project Melody. Yeah, that there was a lot of that.
Where do you get off? Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, be real. Be real for 1 second. I'm truly a fucking trend. Yeah, I'm truly breaking new ground, guys. Holy shit. I had an OC, and art was commissioned of the OC. Isn't that fucking incredible? That's wild.
Damn, even if the pedo accusation could be debunked, Taiga's mod abuse and toxicity looks so legit, blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
The fact that even, like, in 2021, people were, like, you know, pretty aware of, like, yeah, no, this pedo stuff isn't that strong. Like, this can clearly be debunked, but the toxicity, that's the biggest fucking threat to us all. Nux, if you care so much about toxicity, like, look in the mirror, man. Like, like, it's just ridiculous.
I don't know. Again,
I just joined Taiga's Discord, and it just seems like that's kind of a lie, too. Like, I haven't seen any issues between Taiga and mods at all. So, what the fuck are you going on about, Nux?
this is not an accusation. I'm just telling you where I first heard about this. So 2021, this happens. 2022, a bunch of his mods come out with tweets and allegations about him being an alleged pedophile.
Wrong. So, no, the mods all came out, like, with the original set of allegations in 2021. I don't know who this is. I don't know who Shy Stitch is. They're not my mod.
About him being...
Okay, so you're not even going to do research on who the people are that are calling Taiga out? Like, what the fuck does that mean? That makes no logical sense.
An alleged pedophile.
Alleged pedophile. I wish she... Also, the groomer, Nux, like, it says it right there. Is that what you got the information from? Is this your friend? Is this the friend you got the info from?
There was the VTuber that was canceled for allegedly doing weird grooming type shit. I alleged it also because a friend told me. And I regret it because he, you know, I don't know if it's true. And that's awful. That's fucking terrible. So these were all these allegations. And at this point, once that happened, Bungo Taiga left the internet. I believe he left the internet for about 5 months at that point. Kind of everyone was saying, oh, well, if he was innocent, he would have freaking, you know, he would have mentioned something, but he just kind of...
But he did. Apparently he's been mentioning it, and y'all deplatformed him? The fuck?
left for 5 months, that's bad.
So that's lie number 3, 4, 5? What lie are we on? That's another lie. I never left the internet. Never. I was streaming the entire time. So no, I didn't leave the internet for 5 months in 2022. I've been streaming through everything. Everything. I've been streaming through everything. And this is like just a lie of like not understanding the timeline, right? Like, I don't know where he gets off giving the timeline. I did take 5 months off at the start of 2024 because I tried to the months I took off in 2020.
Damn. That is awful. I'm so sorry, Taiga. I'm so sorry. It pushed you that far? God, oh my gosh, as somebody who's been through, you know, that ordeal of feeling like nothing matters anymore and wanting to, you know, yeet myself off this plane. God, I can only imagine what you're going through in this situation.
24 were before August, and this is during August. He's saying I'm taking 5 months off. It's just wrong. Like, he's just wrong. Like, I assume this isn't like a malicious lie. This is just not understanding the timeline, showing that he really hasn't looked into any of this.
Kind of everyone was saying, oh, well, if he was innocent, he would have freaking, you know.
Nux, didn't you take time off Twitter right now? Like, what are you doing right now? If you're innocent, how come you're not proving your, you know, Let's talk about that for just a moment. I think that was a good time. Shadman DM'd me weird shit out of the blue, and I made fun of him for it many times in videos and on podcasts, as seen in the clip. I've never commissioned, prompted, / been friends with him, and I've never hidden that fact. Framing this as a relationship is very disingenuous. Shadman was asking if anyone wanted to collab. This guy says, probably this guy. And then you ask, want to collab? Literally after Shadman turns you down, like he literally calls you to middle school, by the way.
Yeah, no, this makes you look really bad regardless, Nux.
Shadman calls Nux Taku to middle school. And then Shad's like, LMAO, no, but your heart's in the right place. Understandable, have a nice day. I'm here when you come around. Smiling demon emoji. And what does Nux have to say about this? People saying I'm a liar because of these tweets? Yes, Nux. People are saying you're a liar because of those tweets. Because in this tweet, you said you never prompted or tried to be friends with him and that he DM'd you first. But in this tweet, it's clear that you prompted him first. He turned you down. He wanted nothing to do with you and you wanted a collab. So
yeah. Yeah, no. And you did push for a collab, Nux, and that just kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, Nux, people are calling you a liar because of that tweet. Because you lied. I'd collab with all sorts of scum. I'd interview EDP. He wouldn't interview me, though. But he would interview EDP. Like, if we go to the very start of the stream, remember when he said, I didn't make an update video on you because I don't mess with anyone who has a sussy past? Here's another lie. Because you would, Nux. You said you would interview EDP.
Yeah, you're kind of backtracking with those tweets.
You would interview Shadman. You were going to grill him. So you would.
As we were going, I can't show you this clip.
Yeah, you literally, your whole slogan is be nice to nice people, be shitty to shitty people. But then you don't fucking do your research at all? Question mark?
Because I removed it from the video. I'm sure there are re-uploads.
I just want to be clear here. I'm sure there are re-uploads. So you admit, Nux, that, you know, even removing the section of the video obviously isn't going to undo all the slander you did when people are re-uploading your video. So what good is an apology when there's still re-uploads of shit going around of your video that you slandered me?
So basically, what happened was Moist Critical says, hey, whatever happened to this guy? And he posted to he pointed to a picture of Bungo Taiga. And I said, I don't know the full story, but apparently he's a pedophile or something like that.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know why he's trying to blame it on Moist Critical here. That's pretty fucking weird. Because obviously Nux Taku is the one gathering all of these clips to show to Moist Critical.
And on top of that, it's a genuine question. Charlie asked a genuine question. Why are you throwing Charlie under the bus?
So for him to act like Moist Critical just he just found this clip of this random dude and then asked what the deal with him was, it doesn't make sense, right? Like, you made the video, it's on your channel, you gathered the clips, you gathered the things you were going to talk about before you made the video, you gathered all the clips you were gonna show Moist Critical and then showed them to him. So you grabbed a clip of me and then you showed it to Moist Critical, right? The way you blame Charlie here is fucking weird and gross, dude.
It really is.
Take some goddamn accountability. It's your fucking video on your fucking channel. Pretending Charlie broached the subject is just ridiculous, 100%.
2 months later, he comes back with an exoneration document proving that he is in fact not a pedophile. He is a victim. He is a victim of a lot of stalking, a lot of harassment, a lot of...
Oh yeah, that's one more thing I wanted to mention. Like, he's saying, the weirdest part about him claiming I groomed a viewer is that all of the allegations of the shit I was being accused of were all taken when I was an adolescent before I became a VTuber, right? There was no audience to groom.
Wow, Nux. What the fuck, dude?
His timelines are so off, he can't even get that right. It's insane. I'm a pedophile and I groomed my viewers, except I wasn't even streaming when the screenshots were taken. Like, you couldn't even look into the base timeline that you are representing.
Yeah, there are timestamps for everything. You could have researched that. You just fucking went with it. What is your problem?
I said, "Oh, I don't know the full story, but apparently he's a pedophile or something like that." And
You also called me a groomer again. But
2
whatever.
months later, he comes back with an exoneration document.
I didn't know this video existed for 2 months. The second I saw it, I went on my stream. I responded to it. I made a big fuss about, hey, here's all the things like that are wrong, like I'm doing right now.
He is a victim of a lot of stalking, a lot of harassment, a lot of awful shit, and that's very, very bad, obviously. So, huge Nux L that I have acknowledged multiple times. In fact, the moment this happened, I cut that part out of the video.
So no, the moment this happened, that's bullshit, right? Like, it wasn't the moment this happened. It was 2 months after the video was posted and got over like 250,000 views, right? So it wasn't the moment this happened. It was 2 months later. And he did post this comment, and he did pin it eventually. You see, after posting this comment, he immediately made an edit to it. As you can see here, it says edited, and that immediately unpinned the comment, and the comment was left unpinned for about a year.
Damn.
For about a year, the comment was unpinned. Not that even like makes up for the fucking fact that nobody is going back to this video to check the pinned comments, right? Like, nobody is going back to this to look at the comments section to see if there were any updates. The damage, Nux, had been done. So even if this comment was pinned the entire time, as you can see, it only got 168 likes out of the 24,000 likes the video got total and the 350,000 views the video got. 168 people maybe saw this. I think this stream you're doing right now is literally the 3rd time, and that's being so fucking generous. You were talking about the Mama Max drama, about how he fucked up and falsely accused someone and didn't take accountability, and then you like felt really bad for yourself and were like, oh yeah, you know, I know what that's like because I fucked up. You know, I've taken my friend's word for things before.
And, like, there was this...
Oh my god. See, this is hypocrisy at its finest. Nux, what the actual fuck? You're gonna sit there, like, Mama Max is not innocent, by any means. But you're gonna sit there and grill on Mama Max for the same shit you're doing.
The VTuber that was canceled for allegedly doing weird grooming type shit. And like, I was in a video and I was talking about it, and I also alleged that he did that because close friends of mine told me.
You barely said my fucking name, dude. It lasted for all of 2 seconds, and then everybody moved on, and it was only you feeling sorry for yourself. You have never publicly acknowledged this to anywhere near the audience that you first pushed the allegations out to begin with.
I don't know if it's true.
I want to apologize to Taiga myself, too, because I did see a video where he talked about it for a couple minutes. I think it was on Mr. Beast situation, like he was talking about Chris Tyson, and he mentioned it, and then I went digging, and all I found was a Twitter clip that he directly addressed it. And I said that was a good start. I will admit that I fucked up by saying that, and Taiga, I'm sorry, because I did not realize how long this was going on. It's still relatively new to me of any of this in the first place, and I want to apologize for, you know, thinking that Nux was starting to take accountability, and that's my fault, because I could have done more research. I will admit I was working an overnight shift that night, and I was very busy and tending to customers, and I didn't really get to comment towards the end of my shift. But still, that was not okay on my part either.
He ended up coming back with some sort of response. I don't know, this guy Bungo Taiga, and I apologized to him privately that I even alleged something like that.
Yeah. So when he says he's not acknowledged it multiple times, he's acknowledged it in my DMs. He's made an unpinned comment on the video that is now 2 years old that nobody saw. And then he kind of mentioned it for like a split second on a stream. And then he's talking about it. This is the most he's ever talked about it. This is the most he's ever even mentioned it. So I'm gonna say, there's a lie, Nux. You never once tried to actually, like, make it better, dude. You just tried to fucking sweep it under the rug. And also, yeah, and let's be clear here, this is the most he's ever talked about it, and it's to like a whopping 300, like 880 views on the stream.
Like, this was...
Yeah, why are you talking about it to a tenth of your audience? Why? Why are you not making this more public? That's what I want to know.
Probably the biggest L of my career, to be honest.
You'd think the biggest L of your career people would know about. You'd do your best to go back and make up for your mistake.
Bungo Taiga even leaked the DMs on his stream about me apologizing to him and stuff.
Well, I don't know why you would care if I did leak them, Nux. This is the biggest L of your career, and it's fucking life-ruining. You don't think that maybe I should be able to show evidence that you fucked up? The last thing he sent to me in 2022 was, I still don't know 100%, I still don't 100% know the truth of the matter. I'll do my best to figure it out and set the record straight. And that was December 24th, 2022. That was fresh into the new year. I was like, hey, any updates in 2023? And he's like, not yet. I was like, any idea when or if there will be any? This stuff still weighs pretty heavily on me. Is there a way I can assist? Like,
Taiga has been persistent in fucking asking about it because you claimed you would set the record straight, but you haven't. Why is that, Nux?
Do you think you would get my perspective on it? Anything? You think you would ask me any fucking clarifying questions at all? Anyone, even one, even like, hey, why did you say this? Hey, what's the context of this? Anything. But no. The reason I had to leak your DMs is because you insisted that you were apologizing, that you made everything good. You didn't. That was a lie. So yeah, I had to read your DM out to show everybody what you actually said.
I promised him a follow-up video, which I never promised him. I told him if I would do a Penguin Zero VTuber drama video too, I would talk about it in more depth.
I don't know yet when, but at this time, I do hope it will happen preferably during the next general VTuber drama type video where I could mention you at the beginning. I don't think you can assist.
And I've talked about it multiple times, despite the fact that the public narrative is that I never apologized. I did apologize.
That's not what we're saying.
That is not what is being said. But you're taking that.
No, you apologized. But saying I talked about this multiple times and I never apologized are two different sentences, Nux, okay? You apologized in my DMs, okay? That does not constitute the same as talking about this multiple times, right? Loosely mentioning it on a podcast for like 3 seconds before getting glossed over because it's about Mama Max and not about that, and nobody wants to hear what you have to say. And, you know, DMing me an apology. Also, let me be clear here. Like, I've read out what the apology was before, right? He didn't apologize for slandering me. He apologized for not looking into the situation. He was like, sorry for maybe putting misinformation out. He never looked into it.
Creepy conversations of him talking to kids or talking about kids and...
I never talked to kids. He never looked into it, so he wouldn't know that. The kids I was talking about were Gon and Killua from Hunter x Hunter. Those kids. The cartoons. Yeah, we're talking about cartoons.
What the fuck? It's about Hunter x Hunter? Are you serious right now?
And I regret it because he, you know, I don't know if it's true. He ended up coming back with some sort of response. I don't know, this guy, Bungo Taiga, and I apologized to him privately that I even alleged something like that. And, like, because a friend told me. And I believed him.
Muda put out a good
for me,
tweet
that's
last
stuff.
time.
Yeah, but,
And
anyway,
look at that. Okay, he has to cut it off because, like, they just moved on. It's like, it's less than a segment, dude. It's less than a segment and nobody was talking about it. Even
That's fucking insane.
your own podcast buddies skipped over it because they were like, you're just fucking yapping. And this isn't on your channel. This is on some ordinary podcast. You slandered me to your viewers, Nux. 1 minute out of an hour-long video that was immediately glossed over by everybody. Anytime he addresses this publicly, he's just saying, well, I already apologized for it, so it's okay.
putting a spotlight on it would be bad for business. Oh, the business, I literally said it on my biggest platform with my biggest...
Your biggest platform is someone else's podcast? You did a 1-minute segment in the middle of the podcast that was about someone else doing the same shit you did. That's another thing. Like, where do you actually think you get off canceling Mama Max at all when you did the same thing? Like, what did you expect Mama Max to do that you think you did? You didn't make it better, Nux. You slandered me, bro. You waited so fucking long. You think anyone's gonna know who the fuck you're talking about when you wait this long to address it? And
Yeah, no. If you wait that long, like, people just don't know who you're talking about. They don't care enough to know who you're talking about. If you had addressed it immediately, yeah, maybe it would have been fixed.
barely say my name? Yeah, this is one guy, and I kind of slandered him, and like I did the same thing Mama Max did. Like I know this whole podcast is about how like awful Mama Max is and how we should, like he should be held accountable and stuff. But I kind of did the same thing to this guy named Bungo Taiga, and I felt really bad about it because my friend told me something and I believed it, and but let's not talk about Mama Max though. Let's talk about Mama Max because we need to hold him accountable, and he should die. Look at the situation, Nux. You're a hypocrite. Look in the fucking mirror.
Do a pinned comment. I cut it out. I'm not sure what else is wrong. People have been framing it that I should address it, even though I did address it. But here's the thing that everyone is missing.
Does he really count that as addressing it? Like, are we fucking serious? Like, is he actually just counting that as addressing it? Oh,
Apparently, yeah.
1-minute segment at a podcast that nobody watches for you? A pinned comment that wasn't pinned for over a year after you left it? And a kick stream to 300 people? When you uploaded the video to your main channel with Moist Critical? Like, are we serious right now? Hey, did you message Moist Critical and we're like, hey, Moist, by the way, you remember that one video I did where I covered a lot of YouTube drama? Well, actually, there's this VTuber, Bungo Taiga, and I got the situation so wrong. He's not a pedophile at all. And I feel really bad for making a video where I called him a pedo and a groomer. And I think it would be a really good opportunity to put a spotlight on this and exonerate someone who has been literally groomed since they were a child into posting my pictures online. Just
God. Yeah, Nux, why aren't you going to Charlie and, like, clearing it up? That's what I want to know. Like, you could be doing so much more to fucking rectify this situation, but you're not.
so that a stalker could later take those pictures and post it as revenge porn. The same stalker that I accidentally accused them of being the one they groomed.
That is fucked up.
Did you think about making Moist aware that you lied, that you were wrong, that you slandered me to not only the biggest content creator on the platform, but one I was literally watching while I was being groomed? Did you want to correct the record at all on that? Or did you think, mumbling it to Mudahar on his podcast that nobody cares because you guys were talking shit about someone else doing the same thing you did in the first place was enough? I think that's the thing that bothers me most. Like, he slandered me to Charlie, right? Like, he's just leaving out the part where, like, I grew up watching this guy, man. I was in a fucking relationship with some dude in his mid-goddamn 20s when I was 15. I was posting photos of myself, lewd photos of myself, very inappropriate photos to be taking as a kid. And then my stalker latches onto those. He finds them and he posts them on his hate website, his revenge website. And then Nux Taku accuses me of grooming the stalker.
That is the most heartbreaking shit. Oh my god. Taiga, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That is awful. God, that hurts to hear. As somebody who's been, a survivor like CSA and whatnot, I can only imagine how heartbreaking that is to see someone you look up to being informed that you're actually the one at fault when you've been through all of that. That is, oh god.
Posting my revenge porn. It was a while ago, though. So it's okay. I'm okay. Kind of. Tell Critical ASAP. I've been trying to, man. Guys, I've been trying to get this shit, like, on anyone's radar. But the guy who did it to me, Nux Taku, can't even make a video saying, hey, I fucked up. I was coming off of just being groomed, you know? For me, I was, posting a lot of photos of myself when I was younger. I was like 19 or whatever, maybe like a 3-year age gap. The age of consent in Canada is 14 or 16, sorry. And I'm not using the age of consent argument, like I don't want to be weird about it. But like, that's all I knew, right? Like I'm not terminally online, I'm not like, to me, age of consent is 16 in Canada, that's all I knew, okay? I figured like, oh, I was posting lewd photos when I was a child. What's the big deal? Well, who cares? You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking. I didn't know.
I mean, you didn't. And if you were sheltered, that's another thing because, like, most of, when I was growing up, I was sheltered too. I didn't know any of this shit. I dated people who, online, who were like 18 and such. Now, granted, I was never pushed to send anything inappropriate like that, but I mean, I was in a similar boat.
Know any better for some of this shit. I didn't think a 2 or 3 year age gap between, a 17-year-old and like a 19-year-old was the end of the world at the time, just based on like how I grew up and what I had been through. And I fucked up. Obviously now I know, to act like my tastes haven't grown up with me is so fucking disingenuous. Like to act like, oh, well, you were 19 and you dated a 17-year-old when you were 19. So now that you're like in your 20s, you totally still like 17-year-olds, right? How the fuck? Like where's the logic, man? Where's the logic? 17 and 19 is fine in most countries. It's definitely fine in Canada, or it was. I would never do it now because I'm not 19 anymore. I'm not an adolescent. I'm not a little fucking kid. I joined the VTuber community. I got out of that like fucking awful toxic place where I was encouraged to post lewds and I have to look as young as possible and I gotta be so fucking cute for all the people jerking off to me.
Damn. I'm so sorry, Taiga. I am so sorry.
Out of there. I was out of there. And then I just got dragged right back into it. To be clear here, I never dated a 17-year-old, right? Like, I never dated a 17-year-old. I never made contact with any minors ever. Nux is older than I am. He's been putting lolly in his thumbnails for longer than I am. I would never do this shit again, right? Like, I'm not after fucking kids, dude. I don't interact with kids. I'm not doing that shit. Literally just the circumstances. I made a fucking weird, edgy joke because I was normalized to that kind of like behavior. I was like, whatever, you know what I mean? I was posting lewds as a fucking 17-year-old. What's the big deal? That was it. I never...
Over a fucking joke, dude?
Thought about it again. It never led to anything. And that was it. And then it gets brought up by Gilkanazi fucking years later as if I am a fucking serial predator when I'm not. There's no pattern. There's no fucking pattern here. I made a fucking weird, edgy joke as a kid who was normalized to that weird, edgy shit, mainly in part due to fucking people like Nux using lolly in their thumbnail, that whole culture. Like, they normalized that shit, and I'm tired. I'm so fucking tired of anyone acting like it was like some fucking serial pattern of abuse shit. It never happened. Nothing ever happened.
The reason why I don't want to...
Fuck. That just makes the situation so much worse because if there was never a pattern there, if there was never, like, consistent behavior and it was literally jokes because of your upbringing and the environment you were in, like, why hasn't he gone out of his way to, like, ask personally? God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Taiga. Like, that is the worst that could happen out of this.
Sit here and be like, I want to exonerate Bungo Taiga. I want to exonerate Bungo Taiga of all crimes. Innocent. The reason why I don't want to do that is because, well, aside from the mod abuse allegations shit.
Let's touch on the mod abuse. Because, like, Nux hasn't looked into it, right? He hasn't fucking looked into it. Man, if people want to get on me for, like, just kind of being mean and, like, toxic, fair. You know what I mean? If you don't vibe with that, like if you don't vibe with the way I acted, that's totally fair. Like you cannot act like this is the fucking end of the world. Like you cannot act like this is like the fate worse than death. Like that's the thing that's stopping you from talking about the fact that I was falsely accused of pedophilia and grooming by you. Like that's ridiculous, dude. The people lying about me being a pedophile, maybe have you considered that they're also lying about me abusing them? Maybe have you considered that they're using the fucking word abuse so that they can twist and make the situation worse? You probably haven't considered that, Nux, because you haven't looked into anything. Like, bro, it's the same people. Like, it's the same people. The same people accusing me of being a pedophile are also saying I abused them. There's also a shit ton of stuff about them trying to fuck me. But, you know, you didn't want...
God damn. Go off, Taiga. God damn. Looks like, you know, you've got a whole army of people just coming against you. God, fuck.
I want to mention that. That's the problem, Nux, is like you clearly like have a fucking agenda. You only want to mention the shit that I did wrong and never anything like any of the extending circumstances that would explain any of the behavior around the thing you're discussing.
This is his exoneration document. This was written by his private eye to defend him.
Not my private eye. I had no idea who this fucking person was before it was written, okay? They literally looked into me, assuming I would be a pedophile. Like Royalty is Here did, they both looked into it, and then were like, oh, yeah, there's like nothing here. There's no
Damn, so somebody went actually doing the research thinking that they would get something on you, and they found nothing. So, like, what is there to defend, Nux?
pattern of abuse. There's nothing. There's nothing here. So I'm gonna say that's another fucking lie. Cause Nux, I don't know this dude. I never knew this guy before he made contact with me saying like, hey, I was like gonna look into you being a pedo, but then I looked into it and like there's literally nothing here. Like I can't do anything with this. I cannot send any of this shit to the police. There is no case.
There is a DM where Taiga is speaking to someone who...
Okay. So, I'm looking at one of the paragraphs. Basically, everything after this point appears pretty clearly to be a few or even a single individual who Taiga was angry with for spreading rumors. I will leave most of this to the doc released by one of his mods. I investigate child abusers, not drama. But from my observations, so-and-so's document appears to be on point. While silently observing the Discord before approaching Taiga with questions, I could find nothing but support for trans people and no traces of racism in his Discord while I was investigating it. In fact, it was downright welcoming. That says right there. Look at the fucking paragraph, Nux.
Uncovered a minor posting lewds in their Discord channel. That is what they call child porn, in case you needed a translation.
I was fucking like, what, 19? I was fucking 19. I had been normalized to this fucking behavior, okay? I thought it was normal. I was like, well, it's not the fucking end of the world. It's a fucking 2-year age gap. That's legal where I live. What's the big deal? Like, I don't know. It's fucking 17. Who cares? They'll be illegal in a year. That was my mindset at the time. Obviously, that's wrong now. I'm keenly aware with, like, the whole fucking thing.
Okay, he owned up to it, Nux. What the fuck do you want him to do? He was raised in that environment.
Years of grooming, years of doing the same shit. I was like, what's the fucking big deal? It was an unhealthy mindset to be in, and I made a fucking bad joke because I was like, you know, what the fuck ever, you know, and it is what it is. Sucks. Not the Nux cares. Not the fucking Nux cares, right? Not the Nux cares. That would require him to actually look into the situation. But apparently jokes are okay when it's you, Nux. Not to mention the fact that I was also just like low-key sussing out Azzy at that point, because I was pretty sure Azzy was into some fucking weird shit, and it came out later that Azzy groomed and raped like a minor, a trans girl into sex.
Damn!
For her on her 18th birthday. And I was like low-key, I was like, Azzy, you're a fucking weird dude, you know what I mean? I was sussing him out, and I ended up being right. Sorry for being groomed, Nux. I won't do it again. And this is going to be a hot take, but like a 2-year age gap isn't pedophilia anywhere other than on the internet. And Nux is going to try to act like it is. Nux is going to try to act like it is so that he can like, you know, justify calling me a groomer, even though, again, no grooming, no contact. That's like the worst thing I did. The worst thing I did was like not be considerate of the fact that like, hey, this is someone else. Like I didn't have consent to see these pictures. I don't know why I would ask. It wasn't serious. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It literally just wasn't serious. Like it wasn't a thing. It was just like, ha, lol. And then it was gone and it never happened again. And that's why there's no fucking evidence in the 5 fucking years of anything ever going on again.
The YouTube ban has nothing to do with me. People are coming after me for the YouTube ban like it's my...
Nobody's coming after you for the YouTube ban. That's another lie. Like, what are you talking?
Nobody's coming at you for the ban, but it is in part because of your allegations, dude. Nobody's coming after you for that directly.
About people are coming after you because you slandered me and never backtracked it. And now that everything is gone, you know, I feel like maybe now is the time to hold you accountable since you said you would make a video and you never did because you're a liar.
I apologize for it on a video with more views than the original video on the podcast. And for some reason, it's being framed as I ruined his life, which not...
No, Nux, it's being framed as you called me a groomer and then never backtracked it. Stop fucking lying.
Facts. Like, you didn't ruin his life, but you did contribute to the aftermath thereof.
I definitely fucked up, and I definitely added stress and misinformation and shit, and I feel bad.
Yeah, and then you never corrected that stress or misinformation. You never DM'd Moist Critical. A private apology is not the same as undoing the fucking 200,000 people you slandered me to, including Moist Critical. DM Moist Critical. Tell him about it. Tell him about your fuck up, Nux. You definitely contributed to an atmosphere, though. You contributed to, like, ruining my life, Nux. You contributed to nobody wanting anything to do with me because all of your VTuber friends, and that's another thing, right? Like, he can say, oh, well, I backtracked it on this podcast that no VTubers watch. I am a VTuber, Nux.
I do understand where Taiga's coming from, but I am a VTuber that does watch the podcast. And Taiga, I would love to collab with you sometime. No, I'm limited to what games I can play, but even just sitting there and chatting with you, I would love to. If you would just, you know, I'm obviously super, super small, but if you would ever just, you know, take time to come by and talk to your people on Discord, I would love to just talk to you.
VTubers watch your VTuber videos. You made a VTuber video about VTubers, about VTuber drama. All of your VTuber friends saw that, and now none of them want anything to do with me. You contributed to a culture where everybody is super fucking comfortable not talking about me for whatever reason, Nux. Probably for the same reason you aren't. Why is that, Nux? It's a character assassination. You are...
Facts. It is definitely a character assassination.
The reason I get so many stalkers, it's because I'm fucking vulnerable, I'm fucking isolated, I am goddamn alone, and you contribute to that culture that perpetuates that. You make everybody scared to associate with me with videos like that, people like you and Marina, and now stalkers feel so fucking comfortable coming in and doing the same shit. He's the reason you're isolated in this community. He's part of it. He's fucking part of it. His video directly contributed to it. Any chance I ever had of collabing with Moist Critical out the window the second he tells him I'm a groomer.
I thought you cared about the truth, bro. I guess, which is why I've said...
Like, and you can tell how mad he is, right? Like, you can tell how fucking mad he is. This is his biggest L, remember, guys? This is his biggest fuck up he's ever had. This is his biggest mistake he's ever made in his entire career, but look at the venom he fucking speaks with about it. Look at the venom he speaks with when he reads this tweet.
Like, why are you so defensive when you know you fucked up? Like, there should be a lot more remorse here, Nux. There should. I'm just saying.
He's mad people are calling him on it. He's mad. It's the biggest mistake. He feels so bad, but he's so fucking mad you're talking about it.
Said many times that this is a very bad thing that I did, and also it does...
No, Nux, you said it like once publicly, once in an unpinned tweet that nobody saw, and then you kind of like half apologized in my DMs. Stop saying you said it many times. This is the most you've talked about it in 3 fucking years.
Yeah, no, you just need to shut the fuck up on that.
Doesn't necessarily exonerate a lot of the criticism that should be levied towards you either. I thought you stood up for smaller creators. Yeah, but generally not people with...
I thought you fucked up.
This history.
Well, with this history, what history, Nux? You said you fucked up. Which history, Nux? The history of Being a grooming victim? You don't stand up for grooming victims, is that it? He's talking out of both sides of his mouth. He's like, oh, guys, this is the biggest L of my career. I fucked up. I was wrong. I said a bunch of shit that wasn't true. But also, I can't correct the record because look at all of this shit that might not be true that I said. Like, it doesn't make sense. He's using the allegations that he's admitting are wrong as an excuse for why he can't correct the record now that he knows he's wrong.
Yeah, what the... God, you are going in circles, Nux Taku. God. It's actually making me angry.
He's contradicting himself.
I will stay out of the debate on morality of drawings, where he, commissioned lots of hentai, lolly, shoto, whatever. And
So using hentai in your thumbnails is okay. You're allowed to make money off of lolicons and push that to your child viewers. As a kid who was normalized to that weird, edgy shit, mainly in part due to fucking people like Nux, using lolly in their thumbnail,
Yeah, no, like, you can't justify that, Nux. You cannot justify that, especially when you literally...
that whole culture, like, they normalize that shit. And normalize that to, anyone watching your content. You're allowed to show it off, but commissioning it is where you draw the line? Really? Why is he pretending the document is making Taiga look worse? What a gas. Yeah, no, like, actually, go ahead, read the document, dude. I was groomed. There's a lot you need to know. Go read it. If you care that much. If you think it's the fate worse than death that Nux is portraying it is. This is coming from the guy who literally just tried to collaborate with Shadman and then used his art in his thumbnails. Nux, we see through you.
Thank you for the follow.
We see through you.
Thank you.
allegedly talked to...
Who was that? I just saw the thing. Thank you for the follow, Orquel Leand. How you doing? Bear with me, I've only got a laptop screen, so I don't see chat very often. I know there's no chat going on right now, but thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it.
minors about all that stuff.
Okay, but I didn't though. I didn't though. I don't know who is alleging that because I didn't though. Because like you keep saying these words allegedly, Nux, but you're admitting that you haven't looked into it. So you're just repeating shit over and over that you haven't looked into.
Yeah, you're going in fucking circles, Nux.
Over and over. You're being vague about it so that you don't actually have to commit one way or the other because you know if you actually looked into it for 2 fucking seconds, you'd come up with the same conclusion that everyone else who has looked into it has come out with. Why are you so afraid to pick a fucking side, Nux?
I don't know.
Like, why are you afraid to pick a side? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, now you don't know? Now you don't know? It's the biggest mistake of my life. The biggest L I've ever taken in my whole career. I'm not going to look into it, though. And I don't know. And I'm still going to throw shade. He might be a groomer. I've never interacted with kids. You literally push your videos to kids. Show us your analytics, Nux. Show us the age ranges that used to watch your content when you were using lollies in your thumbnails. I fucking dare you, because I know I was one of them. And I was underage then, too.
Yeah, no. He, like, you know his analytics are fucking insane. And this is coming from a former Nux Taku fan.
It's just yucky.
It's just yucky. You're fucking yucky, bro.
A stamp of approval to a guy who's not as bad as I sold it.
You don't need to give me the stamp of approval, dude. No one's asking for the stamp of approval. I'm asking you to publicly backtrack on your main fucking channel, the same channel you put the video on, your accusations. The fact that you can't even be like, why not properly cover it, Nux? Why not? You already called me a groomer, dude. Nux had no issue pushing his lolly porn to children because that was his primary audience. Even Shadman said he was too middle school. Like the fuck? When you're too middle school for Shadman, what does that say about your content, Nux? But to...
Yeah, that is kind of fucked. I'm not even gonna hold you. That is... I don't... Like, Shadman is a disgusting human being, but the fact that you are too middle school for him, that says a lot about you, Nux. It really does.
You know, you don't need to give me your stamp of approval to say, hey, guys, I lied when I said Taiga was a pedophile and a groomer. That's not a stamp of approval, Nux. That's just backtracking the initial claims you made. You don't need to fucking collab with me. He's staying silent about it everywhere, and he has been silent about it virtually everywhere for almost 2 years. The most he's ever said about it was on that one little podcast on someone else's channel, not to the VTuber community that he slandered me to. Like, thanks, Nux. You exonerated me to a community of people who probably just want me dead by virtue of being a VTuber, and not the community of VTubers that you were grifting to when you made the video. He made a video explaining the V-Shoujo situation, but somehow the biggest L he's ever had in his entire career, he didn't want to address it on his main channel.
Yeah, no, that makes no fucking sense. Why won't you use your main channel for that, Nux?
Like, this was probably the biggest L of my career, to be honest.
I hope that...
Oh yeah, and let's talk about it. You also said that Magnetar was a pedophile. You never apologized to Magnetar either after the Mama Max situation came out. You never apologized about that. Ever. And Magnetar even asked you to. So, not only have you done that to Bungo Taiga, but you did it to Magnetar too.
It was informative. Like, I hope I'm not just schizo rambling. I've been gaslit for so long by people like Nux and others in the community that I do genuinely worry on some level that I am just completely delusional.
You're not delusional. You're allowed to be emotional about it. If you need to spiral into a rant about it, do it, Taiga. Like, he's fucked you over. He may not have directly contributed completely to your deplatforming, but he definitely was a part of it.
I want to say that, like, I did a good job going back and forth and, like, just actually pointing out areas where he got it wrong, he was lying, or that, you know, he says something that contradicts something he said somewhere else. Like, again, he says, like, oh, well, I'm not going to exonerate him. I can't give him the stamp of approval because he's still kind of fucked up, even though he didn't fuck up in the way that I first portrayed. But he's willing to have EDP on the podcast. He's willing to do an interview with EDP, someone who actually tried to meet up with kids. He's willing to do shit with Shadman, who drew, like, lolly art of actual people. It doesn't make sense, right?
It doesn't. And, like, EDP is still around. EDP is still around trying to get back on this platform. And it's just so fucking insane to me that we have people like Nux who would be willing to double cross his own self-proclaimed morals.
Like, that doesn't add up, right? Are pedophiles content or are they not? I'm not a pedophile and I'm not a groomer, but because I was a teenager interested in another teenager after years of being grooming, like, and I'm saying that as, like, the worst case scenario. Obviously, I never fucking asked for that shit, never wanted it, never cared for it, didn't need it. It was a joke. I don't know why Nux, like, the way he kept on trying to imply there that because I was 19 interested in a 17-year-old 5 years ago, that suddenly, oh, I must still be interested in the 17-year-old 5 years later. I'm not interested, though. I'm not interested in dating, period. I realized after a long time that I'm asexual as fuck, you know? Years of grooming, years of being, like, touched and without my consent. I don't want any of it. I just want to be a cute little guy. I want to live in my own little world, you know? I'll vibe with my favorite anime characters, and that...
You do that, Taiga. You deserve justice, and you deserve to be happy.
That's it. DM Charlie, bro. Let him know that you lied. Like, that's the other thing. He's like, oh, I took accountability. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Until you actually, like, backtrack and say, hey, Charlie, I fucking lied. You did not take accountability. That is not accountability. You lied to me about the biggest YouTuber on the goddamn platform. Someone, mind you, who, like, has in the past pointed out pretty clearly that being interested in anime characters is not the same as real children.
Why is cutie such a big deal when anime has kids being sexualized? Well, first of all, anime is fake. Those like children lolly things, those fucking 900-year-old vampires that look like they're 4 years old, the little cum demons that have existed for 2 millennia, but they look like a 6-year-old, those aren't real people. They are animated fake things.
You gonna call him a pedophile? You think Charlie's weird for that, Nux?
Yeah, that does bring up a good point, bruh. that does bring up a good point. Or are you gonna defend Charlie because, oh, he's your friend? Dog, you need to fucking pick a fucking side.
Or would that require you to punch up for a change? Even after everything, Nux, like, is still throwing shade at me. Like, he'll say on one side of his mouth, oh, this is my biggest mistake and I've tried to make up for it so many times. And then on the other side of his mouth, he'll be like, well, look at all this stuff. This is pretty weird, right, guys? Right, guys? He's still trying to slander me. He's not sorry, dude. And, like, that stream fucking proves it. That stream fucking proves it.
That fucking stream was Nux going around in circles. And you know what, Taiga? I'm gonna tag Charlie in the description of this video when I upload this portion on YouTube, so that he can see this. He may not even look at it, but at least it'll get it out there.
Like, even in the same breath, he's saying, hey, I was wrong. He wasn't a groomer. He wasn't a pedophile. Which I don't know what he fucking believes at this point, but that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying, right? So he'll say that, but like, oh, but I can't tell anybody that. I can't tell anybody Taiga isn't a pedophile or a groomer because, look, he was groomed and in a really fucked up place and, as a 19-year-old was interested in someone that he thought had at least a 2 or 3 year age gap. Like, really? Is that it? I'm a pedophile?
Yeah, no. I'm so sorry, Taiga, for what you are dealing with because of Nux. And because of other people who decided to jump on that bandwagon.
I'm gonna be cursed for the rest of my life because of a 2 to 3 year age gap, Nux. See, here's my thing. I was a kid on the internet, just getting into the internet and stuff. Obviously, I'd be groomed the hell out of that by that point. To, I'd be okay with just posting lewd photos of myself. No one told me a 2 year age gap was the end of the world, and I'm so fucking sorry, okay? And that, that's not an excuse. Ignorance is not a fucking excuse, but I am not doing this shit now, right?
And my thing is, like, why are you not holding the same accountability to Call Me Carson when it's a similar situation?
I am not doing this shit. This is not something that's happening. I am not a fucking predator. I have grown up. I have learned. Nothing ever happened. You shouldn't feel sorry for talking to... I wasn't even talking... No, see, I shouldn't feel sorry. I never made contact with a 17-year-old, dude. I never made contact. My friend at the time. They ended up being a predator themselves, raping and grooming a minor into having sex with them on their 18th birthday. That's a whole story in itself. Look into it if you feel like it. They were modding for a server and they were like, oh man, yeah, someone like posted, they were posting lewds on the server and we found out that they were underage. And I was like, oh shit, lol, show me them though. And then I stopped myself because I was like, wait, how young? Because like, obviously in Canada, 16 at the very least, at least at the time in my head. And he was like, they were like, oh, he was like, oh, they were 17. I was like, oh, okay. Who cares? I mean, like I was 17. They're a year away.
Yeah, that is a fucking product of your environment. And in the environment Taiga explains, like, that shit is going to happen. And you literally admitted that you learned from it. You learned from it and you are trying to be better. You're not a fucking predator, Taiga.
They're not going to look any different. Like, that was my mindset at the time. It was fucked up. It was wrong, okay? It was wrong. I learned my lesson, okay? I'm not a fucking predator, though. I'm just, like, 18 is my hard line, like, for everything, no matter what. That's why my server is 18 plus. That's why everything I do is 18 plus. I'm not fucking with anything. But yeah, I don't know. For Nux to keep implying as if my attraction is still towards 17-year-olds 5-6 years later almost, it's just gross, man. It's just fucking gross. Also, Nux acting like, I'm blaming him for losing my Twitter. The reason I'm talking about this now is because Nux got called out for doing similar shit with his lolly content and Shadman, and he made the exact same excuses, acting like he should just be like, exonerated.
Yeah, no, that's fucking double standard.
He's just so, like, I don't know. He's so confident that he never did anything wrong, and I just feel, like, super gaslit about it. Like, maybe, like, did he do nothing wrong? Like, am I fucking crazy for expecting more out of this situation. Like, I just don't get how Nux can't feel any empathy about, like, what he's done, like, this whole thing. I don't know how he can't understand, like, how he can read those tweets out and just, you know, make me sound like an asshole when, like, look at my situation, bro. It's just, like, mean. It's just, like, actual, like...
It's giving Mean Girls, honestly, and I'm so sorry.